What's going on, everybody? I am enjoying a night at the park. Um, I was gonna ask people some questions today, but everyone seems to be enjoying their night at the park. I walked up to like the first dude, and I was like, "Hey, I don't mean to interrupt." And he's like, "Well, you are." And I was like, "That's valid, for sure." So then I gave up after that. I was like, "Cool." Um, but what I wanted to talk about today uh, is the possibility of life without war. And I don't know if it's a possibility. I'd like to believe it is, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is. I think humans have fought as long as we've existed and over everything. And what I find to be interesting about about the argument that maybe a possibility of life without war is that humans have learned to be empathetic and sympathetic and compassionate beings. So maybe we could learn to be like peaceful, I guess, too, you know? But at like a global scale is definitely difficult. I don't know. Um, I just try to think. I think like, it sounds easy to, like, if you're the leader of a country or something, to not get your people in a war out of the greater good and concern of like your people. But at the same time, there's been so many times where I just see a person that I don't like, and I just don't think that a specific person is a good person. I'm like, damn, like it'd feel good to like fuck you up a little bit, Like like you shouldn't feel that way, Like it doesn't feel good to feel that way, but you do. Like there's definitely been times where, man, I'm just like, hey, man, you probably deserve to get slapped. You've probably never been slapped before, and it kind of shows. Um, but is that the right thing to do? No, I think most people would agree with that. You probably should never resort to violence, but maybe in some cases it's necessary to be violent. I don't know. I think I don't know. I just think a lot of people have died. I think a lot of the wars, obviously, a lot of people have died. Everyone does. I just think a lot of the wars that we get ourselves into seem, at least from my uneducated outside perspective, pretty pointless. I just saw that some like health administration released an 1,000-page document listing everyone who has died in the Palestine-Israel war. And I think they just listed the deaths on the Palestine side, and they arranged it by age, name, age, and some other details. But I found it most interesting uh, was the age aspect. There was, what did I say? Uh, I think not the most interesting, the most heartbreaking detail is that the first 100 pages of the document are babies under the age of 1, and there's some thousand names listed under the age of 5. And obviously, I think there was like close to like, I forget the exact number. Maybe I shouldn't even say it. It was in the upper 30,000s. Was it? I could be completely wrong. Don't listen to me. Uh, this is what I'm saying. Like I'm just uneducated. Uh, I don't know. So there's a lot that I don't know. It's easy to criticize from being out here. Um, Obviously, I have no say in any wars. I don't know what's going on in any wars. I know they're a lot more complicated than we give them credit for, probably. But at the same time, the stuff that we do know, it just seems like man, if it could be solved with a fist fight, could it not be solved with a word fight? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it could. It just takes a lot of self control. And I'd like to believe that it could, but I can't say that with 100% confidence, sadly. And I won't say that with 100% confidence because obviously we fought our entire existence. So it's like, yeah, obviously I think we fight for a reason. God, I really want to swing, but it's making an obnoxious noise. But yeah, I think it's something interesting to think about. Oh, that kid just got mossed, dude. I'm watching two kids play football, and this one kid just keeps on mossing this other kid. Oh, he called him little. Damn. I don't know, but I guess that's really all I had to say. It just seems like we get ourselves tied up, and this is what I guess one thing I would like to do with cupping ears, and one thing that I think maybe hopefully could bring some positive to the world is the encouragement of building community and the encouragement of being encouraged to learn about others different than you. And I've talked about this many a times before, that it's natural to be scared of people you don't know, things that are unfamiliar. That's what's kept us alive. That's what keeps like the wild animals and squirrels and shit alive. There's a reason you can't just go up and pet a squirrel because it's like, who are you and what are you doing? So it runs away. So that makes sense. But at the same time, I'd like to believe that there is a possibility of peace. You know, if we've learned to love and we've learned to, I guess love has always been, that's a human instinct. We've always loved each other. That's how we reproduce and such. Uh, but I don't think we always, I mean, like Neanderthals and cavemen and shit, they weren't compassionate. They didn't like, if they were like protecting their den from another squad of Neanderthals, I don't think they necessarily felt bad about like bashing their head in with a rock or something because they were just surviving. Just like a bear doesn't feel bad when it, I guess I'm assuming, I don't know what bears feel, but I'm assuming a bear doesn't feel bad or a tiger or some shit doesn't feel bad when it kills a gazelle or a zebra or some shit. That's Africa. I guess a bear and a tiger wouldn't kill any of those things, but I'm no biologist. But it's an interesting thought. I guess they don't feel bad, but can we learn to feel bad? I guess, like, can the leaders of our world learn to be like, man, I know I have to fight for my country and I have to fight for my people. That's what they elected me to do, I guess. And I guess in the United States, we elect a president that we believe is going to do the right thing in any situation. And that means if that president has to go to war to protect the people of the United States, hopefully they do that because I want to be protected just like most of y'all. But it seems like it gets a lot more complicated than that, and other interests and other motives get involved to where it veers off the path of just protection and standing your ground and kind of goes into what else can I get out of this, which I think maybe isn't the right motive to a war and the right move, and it's definitely not the right way to spend somebody's life. But I don't know shit, you know? Who does? Yeah. That's all. I think I'm gonna ask people that question on Thursday when I make another video. It was a pretty busy weekend. I drove from Louisiana to Savannah. Uh, it was pretty land to see. I went through Mobile, Alabama, where Rylo Rodriguez and No Cap are from. That was sick. And I listened to No Cap and Rylo Rodriguez the whole way through. That was sick. Which is ironic because I love that music and it is so violent. But it is for a reason. Like, humans aren't just violent for no reason. I think most people don't just kill to kill. Like, there's a lot of history instinct. Um, there's a lot of things that add into it all that pull someone to pull the trigger, I guess. Yeah, that's it. Hope everyone has a good week.